So today we are going to start talking about wolves and moose at a specific island location, which I am going to introduce you to today. So we are starting with the case of the gray wolf in North America. It's also known as Canis lupus, which is its scientific name. Remember, species name. There we go. It's the gray wolf, one of the few large predators native to our continent. So right now, I want you to take a few seconds and write about what else do you know about gray wolves. So if you take a moment and open up your population dynamics of Isle Royale, which we will get into what that is. Right here, I want you to take a moment and write about what do you know about wolves. It can be as simple as they have fur. It can be as simple as they're part of the dog family, whatever you know. So I'll write those two down and you can add what you need. Think about what do they eat. It's really just a space for you right now to just be writing down your thoughts about what do you know anything about wolves? How many legs do they have? Where do they live? Maybe what specifically do they eat? Whatever, it's your time to just show me what you know. Okay, hopefully you have a few ideas. So what is going on right now with the wolves? Before Europeans settled in North America, this was the range where wolves lived in the United States. So the purple shaded in is the historical range. Hall, which is the scientist, it's where they got this information in 1981. So it was before European settlement. There was approximately 250,000 to 500,000. So between a quarter of a million to 500,000 wolves all across the United States. However, by 1960, there were less than 300 wolves in the entire continental United States. So all of this purple no longer exists. And then we're going to talk about why. So why was this happening? People were hunting wolves for the fur trade. So once the Europeans came over, they found these wolves and they thought that their fur was amazing. They started trading them. Farmers also were trying to protect their crops and make sure that their farms were protected. So obviously wolves would come in and eat the chickens, eat sheep, things like that. And they wanted to make sure that their livelihood and what they were selling was safe. So I think that I even have some cool information here that I'll share with you. So yeah, I talked about that. The wolves were a threat to livestock and occasionally humans, so they were shot, they were poisoned or trapped. There was also bounties out on wolves and a federal extermination program. So even the United States, like government, was trying to get rid of wolves. There were bounties on wolves since 1644 when Native Americans could get either 3 quarts of wine or a bushel of corn from just one dead wolf. So that's a lot of stuff that you could get from just one wolf, like pelt that you could have. And then just making sure I'm giving you all the proper information. And then this picture up here was one of the largest wolves that they found in Minnesota. So that probably got them a lot of money and a lot of goods that they needed to survive on their farm. So at this time, when there was less than 300 wolves in the continental United States, they only lived in Minnesota and one other place, which is the island that we are going to take a look at. It is called Isle Royale National Park. It is located in Lake Superior. It is right above, so here we are, United States, Wisconsin. We live all the way down here. And it is technically part of Michigan because this line right here shows us Michigan. So it is a Michigan territory. and it is almost all the way up by Canada. So here's the island zoomed in.
All right, so we are getting ready to look at our case study on Isle Royale. So right here we have introduction to our case study. It's a little blurry. There we go. So the background information, we're going to do this one together. This is our example. All right, ecosystems are often difficult to understand because they usually include interactions among so many species. Isle Royale is different. It is a relatively simple island ecosystem located 24 kilometers from the shore of Canada in Lake Superior. So here it is. There's Canada. This is technically the border of Minnesota, but it is part of Michigan. And actually, me and Miss Turner got to go there this summer. So when you're in person or next class, I will show you our video of everything we learned and got to see. It was really, really awesome. So while there are many types of small animals on the island and almost 20 types of mammals, only 2 species of mammals that live on the island are relatively large. These are the wolves and the moose. On this island, wolves are the only predator of the moose, and the moose are essentially the only food for the wolves. This is on page 95. So then on the top of page 96, to understand nature, it also helps to observe an ecosystem where human impact is limited. On Isle Royale, there are no towns, and people do not hunt wolves or moose or cut the forest. It is a very rare place on the planet where wolves, their prey, and the plants that support the prey are all protected and left untouched by humans. Isle Royale is remarkable because nature runs wild there. Moreover, because the wolves and moose on Isle Royale are isolated from the mainland by the surrounding water, they are unable to leave. Scientists have been taking measurements of the population of wolves and moose on the island since 1959. There was only one reported case of a single wolf migrating from the mainland, Canada, in all the years since the records were first kept. That single migration occurred in one extremely severe winter when the 24 kilometers of water between the Isle Royale and the mainland of Canada froze over, and a wolf walked across that ice shelf that winter to reach the island. The population changes we might observe, therefore, are not the mere wanderings of wolves and moose to or from the inland. So basically, they can't just wander and go wherever they please. So our first question is, what makes Isle Royale so different from most ecosystems? So it said human impact is limited. Oh, sorry, up here. Human impact is limited. There are no towns. People do not hunt. It's a very rare place where wolves, their prey, and plants are all protected. So I'd say that makes it a lot different. So there's limited human impacts, no towns, no hunting, no cutting the forest. And then it says in that same paragraph, like I said, where wolves, their prey, and plants all are protected. So name 3 unique characteristics of the ecosystem. So that would be things like it is an island ecosystem. It's protected because it's a national park. So I just wrote no human interference there. And let's see, I need one more thing. So there's only 2 types of large mammals. So then the last part is to write a short summary about this article. So I'll write it first and then I will read it to you. But basically I'm going to summarize everything we learned about that. It's a national park, it's isolated, there's only the wolves and the moose, everything's protected, kind of stays on that island, it's isolated, and they can't come and go as they please from the island. Oops, sorry. So there we go. So it says, Isle Royale is an isolated island ecosystem that is protected from humans as a national park. All plants and animals are protected here and cannot come and go as the island is too far from shore. So basically everything's kind of stuck. So that would be an example. And then your job is to read one article about the moose, one article about the wolves, and do the same thing and answer those questions. You can work with someone, but if you work with someone, you should have all 4 done. And if you don't want to read, there are video recordings of Miss Turner reading each article for you. So that is done for you. The rest of the articles are on pages 97 through 103, I believe it is. And it is your job to get those done today.